This program is sponsored by Neva Lines. To be a sponsor of one of our segments, send us an email at info@nevalines.com. Hello, Mr. Phil Andrews. How are you doing? It's such a great pleasure to have you on my platform.
Thank you, and I appreciate you taking the time to invite me as a guest.
You're most welcome. Phil, one of the things that I'm seeing right now during the pandemic, a lot of small businesses trying to survive, and a lot of small businesses a lot of people are thinking about starting up a business because they, are unemployed. So let's start with those that are unemployed seeking to start business. What would you say to them? What are some parts that they need to put together in order for them to start? Should they start?
Well, I would think they would first look at their strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And a lot of us uniquely have certain skills and talent that we may have, and we never really thought about the idea of turning it into a business. Like somebody that writes well could do do resume enhancement. Somebody that has a large following, they may get some product or service or idea that they can start with their friends in their local community. So the idea right now in crisis, there's opportunity. And as you know, a lot of people went into certain businesses like cleaning businesses, so far as the cleaning business, it kind of boomed. And also, how about Lysol and things like that? People had opened up a 99 cent store. These things that people, I couldn't find no hand wipes, no Lysol for the last 6 months. You couldn't even find paper towels and all type of things. So that was retail, right? So that's retail. So I think we got to look at there's an old axiom in business: find the need and fill it. So if you find a need, years ago people were on oil, right? You know how it was when when it was cold and you couldn't get no oil. You couldn't meet the demand of customers. So I think that's still a premise of business: find the need and fill it. And then you got to also know is what am I selling in my business? What is the customer buying? I know you go to some stores like Bed Bath and Beyond, you're probably buying the aroma, right? Because the aroma is there in the place, and that's part of their sales pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So
So do you think a good time to actually start business during recession? Because we say pandemic, but really a recession as well. Is it a good time to start?
I think there's always a good time to start a business, and I think business is always cycling. Meaning, I don't know no business in America does not have a up and does not have a down. Sometimes we have to think about our business. How do we shorten revenue cycles? How do we get the customer to come back in? They came a month ago, but you haven't talked to them all month. So I think it's really business is all about innovation. It's all about innovation and really getting in the mind of customers. As one of my mentors used to says, selling begins in the prospect mind, not in your mind, because we really have to get inside the mind of a customer to sell them anything. But unless you want to just sell the customer what you think they're going to buy, I think it's a better idea of learning more about your customers. Why do they buy? And who is my customer? Who is my customer is the first answer that any business need to answer.
So for the current business that are, in operations and, they're struggling, trying to make things happen, what's a word of advice would you give to them? For example, they have the restaurant business, been impacted because people are not going into dine per se, or someone that has a niche that nobody is really, it's not a big niche, so they're struggling at this time. What advice would you give to them?
Well, one advice I give to any business is embrace the new digital era. I mean, we're buying a lot of stuff. We just not happen to go to the restaurant. There is a way for you to use Uber Eats and other services to deliver, but some businesses are exceptionally well with embracing the digital divide. And we need to really use these assets like the internet, Google My Business, maybe Google advertising, word of mouth, Facebook. Of course, today you got to have all of these platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and then there's some like Reddit, there's some like Tumblr, so it's flipped. What about flipped? So actually I use all of the channels, and those channels, believe me, there are communities there. And the other factor is too is when you get your business present locally, Google is based on a local presence, meaning when you type in your Google and they have your address where you live at, and you say find a restaurant near me, if your business is prominent in that search ranking, they're gonna find that restaurant. So we got to really use everything is localized. Years ago when the internet first started, they would give you everything around the country when you started searching. But don't the customers mostly want things that's close to them? Okay, I was saying that every company today should embrace using the internet and internet marketing. Even the premise of Amazon buying up all of the major box stores, people want their products delivered to them right away. So meaning that, hey, in this environment, people don't want to wait. They want to go local and they want it delivered. And Amazon, think about it this way. Amazon couldn't keep up with its fulfillment during this time. So they had to now buy fulfillment locations around the country. And I think we all got kind of used to this digital thing. And you know what? 90% of my orders were fulfilled. And then when they wasn't fulfilled, they gave me a refund, or they would get on the retailer, the independent seller. So today, I think we've really embraced the concept of using online, because you probably now, instead of going and stand on the line, you probably can read a good book, right? So now you have more of your time. You can build your business. We think about all the little time that those things was taking us. So now we're able to move. I mean, most of us are not even going to the bank no more. We are uploading the check into the digital app. So I think we really have fuller use of our time. So now, hey, you got extra time. That means you got extra ability to try to make money because you was doing other things with your time.
So pretty much what you're really promoting is like online, everything online platform, and for us to utilize it right. So let me ask you, what resources are out there for small businesses? I know you're involved in that deeply. What resources can help small businesses grow?
Well, we have a lot. We have the small businesses development centers in the colleges and universities. We have the Small Business Administration. They do the 3 C's. They do credit counseling, and they also do capacity building and access to capital. So if you got somebody that can help you write the contract, help you get the capital, and give you the technical assistance that you need, that's a whole bunch of things that one agency could do. But a lot of times we don't have time to access these resources. But last year I had got honored as a small business champion, but there was a company there that said that at the time that they was getting ready to fail and was having difficulty, the SBA was able to come and help them and get to the point where they got a major loan. And they had kind of like credited the SBA for where they are today, a $6 million company. But the small business, sometimes we're so, when you're small, you don't have a whole staff, you usually don't get to these resources and get out your office. But we need to, use these resources. We pay taxes, right? We support the government, and the government says we got these people working. They could dedicate, they can get you long-term planning, they could help you in ways with technical skills. It's like having your team. The SBA got all of those people with the technical systems. So we need to kind of like make time for training and development in our companies.
All right, excellent. So before we move on to the end, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs? Motivational, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say that, for one, begin with the end in mind. And that means you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. I think you need to find a mentor. I think I'm a big advocate of chambers of commerce, of course, because you need to have a network. Someone said if you're the smartest one of your network is probably not that substantial. So we need to get people that can help us in our network. And I think that because in Think and Grow Rich, they said that cycle support have economic benefits, because you could be at a point in your business where you feel like, you know what, I can't make it. But the fact that you got somebody encouraging you, somebody's working alongside with you, and build teams. Like even though your company may be a sole proprietor, you can still build a team around your company, right? Earl Graves did it. before he had influence, he used somebody that was in elected office to help leverage his influence, and he became a multimillionaire. He tells that story that at one point he had to get people that had more influence than him to help his company.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Bill. It's always a pleasure speaking with you and just tapping into that brain, because you have so much knowledge and resources and information for small businesses. And I know others, but right now we're focusing on small businesses. So thank you so much for your time.
And I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.